Hey guys and girls, your boy Too Lazy for Life is back with season 2 of Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin. The last episode was absolutely brutal. What a way to start off season 2, man. That episode was freaking insane. So much mind-blown revelations. Massive Titan hiding in the wall that I thought was a joke at the end of season 1, but no, it's not a joke. It was actually part of the story this entire time. Why is there a 50-meter tall Titan hiding in the very core of the wall, Cena? And that priest knew about it this whole time. And then there's a beast Titan, who's again another special human. And then he can talk fluent Japanese, and he talks like he's got 500 IQ, big brain criminal mastermind. And then he let Levi's second in command, top dog Mike, get chomped on, family bucket feasted on at KFC by those 3 mini Titans. And we ended the episode off on him screaming and dying in despair and terror, and then he got ripped in half, and you even see his entrails, okay, get stringed out as he did so, and then they just cut to the to be continued screen, and then the end credits started rolling. Oh, just pain. So much fucking pain. I already start season 2 off like this. What hope have I got to survive by the end of this season, guys, huh? Oh my god, what a way to continue on the very starting phase of Cycle 6, man, with just absolute no brakes on this hype train. There were no brakes on the Fate Apocrypha hype train the moment I pressed play on episode 1. Attack on Titan is definitely giving that a run for its money and definitely matching that level of hype, man. Oh my god. Holy shit. So that was about it. That was pretty much what happened last episode. It was just shock, like gasp. I wouldn't say PogChamp. I wouldn't say Dan's game. What was a fitting Twitch emote for such a moment, man? I don't think there is a fitting, suitable emote for just pure shock and horror. Okay, from the typical overused Twitch emotes, there has to be, you know, a mix between what face, Dan's game, and gasp. But I don't think there is one currently out right now. But you guys get the point. All right, so let's move on to season 2 episode 2 now, guys, shall we? Let's go. Oh, what a way for him to go, man. Sasha's backstory episode, I guess. What? The Titans are the ones that made the walls for humanity? Well, back out of the frying pan and into the fire. This whole, yeah. Like, well, what the fuck happened at the time these walls were made? What? A whole line of Titans that were against the other Titans wanting to kill humanity just, like, you know, stood together holding arms, linking arms, alright? Like some kind of, you know, Kappa Pride LGBT support group. And then they just ring around the roses, and then they activate their wall concrete making powers, and then they just, like, build themselves a wall.
我々は世界に生かしてもらっとるからな。人間ちゅうのは群れで生きる動物なんじゃ。違う生き方をしている人間でも限られた環境の中じゃそれと心中する覚悟はあるんか。これからどんな危機に見舞われてん助けを請うてはならんとぞ。この森を出て他人と向き合うことはお前にとってそんなに難しいことなんか。
Wow, a lot changed in 3 years, huh? It was just one log cabin from your flashback, and now it's an entire. Damn, he's just sitting there chewing on that leg so slowly, savoring the moment. Sasha did actually talk rather weird back at boot camp. And then suddenly, like later, they were all graduated. And then she talks like she is now. Time to switch on aimbot. Ugh. Oh, big family. Oh, your chances are next to none. Beast Titan probably picked him up and threw him there. This ending, man. Fuck this ending. I've only listened to it once, but like, this song just sounds so troll.
故郷に現れた巨人に対する違和感を振り払い、コニーは再び出発する。各地で行われる戦い、深まる巨人出現の謎。深刻化する状況の中、エルミ博に
Oh, Beast Titan's back.
真実への手がかりを得る。次回、南西へ。
Oh man, that was I was getting emotional there towards the end, man. Sawano's music just never disappoints. Sawano's music during all the emotional scenes when he starts busting out the piano moves. Oh, that's one of the reasons why I love him so much. He can make some killer bass dropping banger, super ADHD, hopped up on Adderall, crack in the veins injection, hype train sort of OSTs, right? That gets everyone all pumped up. But at the same time, he can make some legendary, just emotional, mellowed out, ballad-esque OSTs. His scores, man, his range of music is just up there with Yuki Kajiura. Well, arguably he's better than Kajiura, but that's like arguing what do you like better, oranges or bananas or apples, right? So, you know, the two of them are basically the king and queen of the Japanese, like, composing, orchestrating music industry, right, for making soundtracks. Those two for Japan are the equivalent for Hans Zimmer in the West. One track was the piano rendition of Call Your Name, I think it was. And then there was like the other one where Sasha was taking out that Titan's eyes. Like, oh, I need to get my hands on every single season's soundtrack, man, for Attack on Titan. It's just so freaking good. We had some continuations on with the mystery hunt as to what's going on with the Titans and the Walls by Armin and the Priest. And, you know, all of those guys in the Stoes district are now setting out to go and deal with the Titans that have breached the Rose Wall. So that's all set up, I guess, for the upcoming episode that we saw in the preview. And then we got majority of this episode was focused on Sasha's backstory and where she came from, her sort of origin story, and her return to her home village just to find out that there's been a Titan in it and a new village was set up this whole time. And then she had to go save that girl, and she learned the importance of friendship and camaraderie, I guess, from her flashback of training camp. And like I said, the whole development part of her from being an awkward kid, right? The entire time when she was in training camp, I distinctly remember the way that she talked to people. She looked like a crazy ass girl, right? I thought from training camp, when she was talking to Mikasa and her whole situation with the potato and whatnot, she seemed like just some dunce, you know, like not too many brain cells in the head, sort of countryside girl that was also partially somewhat clinically insane. But then ever since she graduated and we saw her out and about with the rest of the crew on expeditions, she seemed like a perfectly normal, you know, anime girl. And that I didn't point it out, I didn't really touch upon it previously, right, when they were out in the expedition where they encountered Annie. But I definitely picked that up. I noticed it when I was watching it, that Sasha's character somewhat changed kind of unexpectedly, and now we know why. They skipped most of it, right? They skipped most of Sasha's personality change from being such a closed-up introvert that had been living alone in the woods this whole time to now seemingly more open up and being just a, you know, more normal-esque anime girl that just talks to everybody like a normal, functional member of society. And then we ended the episode off on Connie not getting so much luck, okay? Happy ending for Sasha means compensation needs to be paid to Pain Peko for Connie, and he finds out his whole village has been destroyed, and there's just a massive Titan just laying smashed right on top, just flattened on top of his house. And he had a pretty big family as well. He had a mom, a dad, a sister, and a brother. So the more families you have in this show, the more likelihood you guys are not gonna make it out, because you just represent a bigger bucket of instant pain for the audience, and the show just loves to dish that out in droves. I think that's it. That is all that happened this episode. Again, there's not really a whole lot of complicated stuff to talk about for Attack on Titan for the most part. From season 1 up until now, there have been some episodes where I can drone on for a while, but this one was pretty self-explanatory. It was just Sasha's backstory and her leaving the forest to go and get a better life, I guess, because they had to abandon the forest because the government said so in order to compensate for all of the people from, I guess, the wall Mario, right? This was at the time where the wall Mario got broken into, and suddenly you got a whole bunch of people from that outer ring now having to live inside this inner ring, and people now have to subsidize and accommodate for this sudden influx of refugees, and they had to therefore use up even more of this land to go make more efficient food supply, so make more crops rather than make more open land, okay, to raise animals, because that's just less efficient. Yeah, sure, you make some pretty damn good food from all of this open plain land to go raise meat, but it's far more efficient and productive to just use that land to make a crap ton more crops, okay, to feed the masses, okay, and that's what the dad was talking about. So he was like, what would you rather side with humanity and show that you're there on their side and support them so that one day they'll be back to lend you a hand, or are you going to be selfish and think about yourself only and think about all of your precious meat and forsake everyone else, and then later on when you might need help, no one's going to want to come help you? So that was what the dad was telling Sasha. It's either us or them, and in this world you're not going to survive very far and very long being by yourself. Okay, so yeah guys, that is it for this video. That is it for episode 2 of season 2 of my Attack on Titan reaction series. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Alright, like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already, or you brand new Attack on Titan fans that just started season 2 with me here on this channel for the first time. You don't know what I'm all about, but you're so far liking what you've seen and you want to continue with me here on this journey and become part of the community. Like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe and join the channel. Help me rise up in those numbers and help become a much more deeper, integral part of my community, of my network, guys. I very much appreciate it if you do that. Big massive shout out to all of my existing patrons right now supporting me on Patreon. One big massive shout out to the Sloth Trooper Tomato, and one big massive shout out to the Supreme Sloth supporter, as always, Eden's Musketeer. Once again, thank you mate so much for your insane level of patronage and support. You two guys are absolute freaking legends. Alright guys, that is it for episode 2 of season 2 of Attack on Titan. That's my reaction. Hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see you all very soon for episode 3. Alright, but until then, that is it from your boy. Bye for now!